Honestly, a gold player could do that, and even a top player wouldn't be able to do something. Yo guys, it's me, Zero. This is gonna be our first and most cancerous video ever. Why? Well, if you don't follow the competitive scene yet, there's a big controversy over the most recent weapon, Greatsword. A weapon forged by the devil himself. Why is it so controversial, you may ask? Simply because it is broken. Like, insanely broken. I mean, just look at this. I've been playing Brawlhalla for almost 5 years and there hasn't been a single weapon which comes close to Greatsword in terms of brokenness. The weapon cheats its way to victory and makes you win if you know how to use it properly. If you don't believe me, just look at how often he got picked in the World Championship this year. Jaehyun, the only Greatsword legend who was permitted to that time, got used 141 times in Europe and 120 times in NA. And I want to look at some clips of the World Championship and show you guys what's actually broken about that weapon, teach you how to do what the pros do, and also teach you how to counter it. So let's start off with the question, what is broken about Greatsword? To answer that question, we have to talk about neutral game. Neutral game is a state before one player throws out an attack. There are many factors which influence your neutral game, such as spacing, baiting, conditioning, or pressuring. I will talk about that in a future video, because that's a big and important topic, but we're here to cheat our way to victory and not earn our victory. So basically, good neutral means you hit your opponent, bad neutral means you miss your opponent. But what's bad about missing your attack? Well, you get punished, right? Wrong! Usually, you might get punished for missing an attack, however, Greatsword is built different. The extreme low recovery frames makes you pretty much unpunishable. But that is not it. Greatsword also has one of the best, if not best, punish game. Let's take a look at the best punish weapons in the game right now. Katars give you good setups for reads. Gauntlets have insane strings. Cannon has a lot of knockback. Well, and Greatsword? Greatsword has them all. Yes, you heard that right. Not only do you put your opponent in a 50-50 almost every time you hit him, you also are able to get a big punish out of it due to the starter bridge finisher concept Greatsword is made of. And the worst thing of all is the absurd knockback, which is another reason why Greatsword is broken. The clip I showed you was a tournament match I had against another top level Brawlhalla player in the World Championship. As you can see, it was barely orange, but I hit him and yet he died. So those three things make Greatsword broken. The low recovery frames, with 50-50s they put you in with a single hit, and the absurd knockback. So how do we utilize these things for our favor in a match? Since we have low recovery frames, we can forget about the miss an attack and get punished concept. So we can pressure our opponent with our sidelight and eventually bait him with an intentional miss. Most people still don't understand that most moves are unpunishable. In this clip, I'm throwing out one attack after another, waking up after every attack, and he still doesn't get the punish. Let's take a look at the European winners final, where Pavelski faced Simple and did what I just showed you.
Find the recovery hit. Pavelski, he just keeps canceling. Side cancel, turn. He is just putting so much hitbox.
Oh no.
Underneath. Oh.
Honestly, a gold player could do that, and even a top player wouldn't be able to do something. And that's the problem. Every other weapon gets punished if you miss an attack, except Greatsword. So let's say you eventually get a hit. What's next? Simple. Go for a 50-50. Majority of the people will dodge out of hit stun, so practice the proper punish. This is the easy punish. And this is the hard punish. It is harder because if your timing is off, or if you hit him in a bad way, he might be able to touch the ground and reset his dodge cooldown. Of course, there are many more options, but those are the most common ones. And that's how you abuse the most broken weapon in the game. And now for those of you who won't sell their soul to the devil and play that weapon, How do we counter that weapon? I'ma be honest with you, there's not much we can do, but there's still something we can do. Of course, every skill group is different, but there's one thing that applies to everybody. Analyze your opponent. If your opponent only throws out unpunishable moves, put yourself in a position where you can punish. This is something you don't have to do against most weapons, and therefore it might be hard at first, but practice makes perfect. So let's say your opponent misses Sidelight, which is almost unpunishable. On which position can you punish your opponent? Here are 4 scenarios where a Greatsword player misses a Sidelight, and you have to decide on which scenario can you punish him. If your answer is anything but B, you are unfortunately wrong. Let's take a look at all the other options so we can understand why B is actually correct. Now we are looking at option A, and I think this is the biggest misconception / mistake most players do against Greatsword. They think they can punish something like a Sidelight in scenarios like these where they're not close enough. If that's a Scythe D-Light miss, yeah, sure, go for the punish, but not against Greatsword. Not going for a risky punish not only saves you from one hit, it also prevents a 50-50 you can get in. So better think twice before you're punishing. Next, we are going to look at option C. This is an obvious one. At first glance, we see that we don't have any attack option which could hit him immediately. The only option I could think of is something like a jump down air, but by that time he did a wake up and light. Our third option we're gonna review now is option D, and this one is very tempting to punish, but we just can't. It's so tempting because, first of all, you don't have a hitbox in between you and his hurt box, which means you can literally just dash to him. But even if you get close enough to throw out an attack, he will be able to dash, pivot and light. So we check on all 3 wrong options, but now we're gonna check on the right option. I'll quickly summarize all 3 things which make this a good punish option. We are close enough, we have an attack option which immediately is in range, and his hitbox is not in our way. Here are 2 examples where you can actually punish. So let's conclude how to counter a Greatsword. First of all, practice positioning. Guess the move of your opponent and position yourself beforehand so you can punish him. Practice quick time analysis. Check your circumstances before pressing a button. Did your opponent throw out a punishable move? Am I close enough? Do I have a move which will hit him fast enough? Don't just mash your button the moment your opponent misses an attack, especially not against Greatsword. Now what to punish? There are plenty of moves which are unpunishable, but there's still some which are punishable. This is my brief opinion on what's punishable and what's not. Pause the video if you want to check them out. So this was my video about how to cheat with Greatsword and also how to counter Greatsword. I hope you liked it and let me know if you guys want to see more videos like that. And don't forget to join my Discord server so you can get featured in my next video, Guess My Rank.